Right, traders. Happy Wednesday. FOMC today. If you guys are watching on the Discord, morning. If you guys are watching on follow my social media on YouTube and everything like that, good morning to you guys as well. Make sure to put in the live chat if you want me to cover anything. Put in the Discord if you want me to cover anything on stream today. We're going to speak about a few things and maybe some topics from yesterday that I did get in the Discord about maybe how we can use VWAP in our trading. And we can dive into that. First of all, we can see markets are trading relatively, sideways this morning, heading into that FOMC interest rate statement. So if we come to the scheduled news events, we do have FOMC. This is South African time, 8 p.m. South African time. So that would be 2 p.m. Eastern time. So please make sure that you guys are aware of interest rates today, FOMC. Obviously, on these days, things can just be a little bit more stagnant. I do know that if we go to, let's just go to the hourly time frame on the S&P 500 chart, so the actual cash market, not the futures contracts. I think it was in December. We did have obviously a massive drop from that FOMC. So guys know how explosive this can be. There it was there, 18th of December. Okay, and we kind of our trading last FOMC wasn't too hectic, but it's going to be very interesting. Do we bounce from here? Do we head lower? It's going to be very, very interesting. I'm excited for this evening. So maybe we can catch some nice moves heading into the close today after that interest rate decision. We did have some very nice sells yesterday, right at the open, which I actually missed. I caught the DAX longs in the London session, but we missed some very nice shorting opportunities right into the open, which is obviously at the moment 3:30 p.m. South African time. So I get the best of both worlds because I get to trade the London European Open as well as the US Open as well. So we'll go over some stuff there. Good to have the guys. Hoa, what's up? Sally, Mateo, Crocs. Yep. So we're going to speak a little bit about the DAX, Mateo. I know you guys, you love it, obviously being in the European time zone as well. We'll speak about a few edgeful reports. So at the end of each day, I do put my results. But what I've started to do is I've actually started to do a report of the day. So let's speak about that kind of on stream here today. The report of the day yesterday that I did speak about, as you can see, was the opening candle continuation report with NQ. And some of the guys got chopped around, trying to trade yesterday's price action, which was relatively pretty poor after the sell-off on the open. So let's speak about how we can use this opening candle continuation with VWAP. Okay, so this was the, let's just get this up here. This was the report that I mentioned and posted about on my social medias as well as in the Discord. But basically, yesterday we had a opening hour, right? And as you can see on a Tuesday in the last 6 months on Q, 84.62% of the time we actually close as a bearish closing day when that first hour is bearish. I mean, this is a simple rule that you can follow in your trading to actually help improve right this minute. If that first hour is bearish, look for shorts for the rest of the day. If the first hour is bullish, look for longs. This works really well on the indexes as well as individual stock ticker names as well, like Tesla, Nvidia, stuff like that. So just a simple way to actually get a probabilistic method of actually looking for trades. So let's speak about how we can use VWAP. I'm just going to go over US 500, but VWAP along with the edgeful reports. So how I kind of see this, and this is the 5-minute time frame. We can drop down to like a 1 minute. Okay, yesterday. So this is how I kind of was seeing yesterday. As again, I didn't catch any of these trades. These are how guys traded with us live on ASFX TV. So that's something that I do want to mention too. All our live streaming after this pre-market prep is done, where you can catch me, is on ASFX TV. Okay, you can actually use the code James for a 50% discount. This is where we trade live using VWAP in our trading. Me, Austin, Evan, Zach, and the guys, and we get some great guests that come on as well. So this is where you can watch me trade live at the open after these pre-market streams as well. Use the code James for that discount, right? But let's speak about this. How can we actually use this? And I know a few guys that actually, live mentorship here that actually caught it live on stream with us. Austin caught these shorts. So we get the New York Open VWAP over here. We get the shove down. I think this was probably the play of the day. again. I think a few guys might have caught this on stream, but the trades that I think I really, really like, look at how this New York VWAP, how price respects, comes close to this New York VWAP and rejects it. Okay, rejects it off here. You don't want to be shorting down here near low of day. It's not a good trade location to be shorting at. You want to be shorting closer to that New York VWAP, that New York open VWAP. That's the money, right? Again, maybe it comes back up over here. You might have got stopped out there, but again, this is the money down there. Okay, so that's how I'm seeing the guys that actually took the trades. Let me actually get a trade from a guy that actually took it up. I think it was JR, one of the guys I'm personally actually coaching. So let's bring this up over here. This was his daily report card from yesterday. We always expect guys to do daily report cards and get feedback from the trades that they take. You can see he made $230 yesterday. This is JR Mendez. This is the first trade that he took. And look at this, off the New York VWAP, okay? So we get the shove down, and then we get the pullback to that New York VWAP, and he ended up shorting it for a nice winner. Okay, right after 9:30 a.m. I think that he's actually an hour behind Eastern time. So, as I said, shorting off this New York VWAP is, you want to get trades as close to the VWAP as possible, because when you're shorting too low, you're not at a good point. You could be, trading a low of day or high of day, obviously, when buying or selling. What settings are you using for VWAP on the 5-minute chart? So for the New York VWAP, we're just anchoring it. It's an anchor VWAP. You can come on Trading View over here on the left-hand side. And if you just go to, I believe it's here, this little button over there, you can actually get anchored VWAP there. I've favorited it, so it's always up on my favorites here. But anchored VWAP, and we are anchoring it to that New York open time. And then that is what we are using. Okay. Crocs, is that cool? Are you good with that? So that is how JR, who is in our live streaming services, actually on ASFX TV, managed to catch some money shorts using that VWAP play. And this was actually the trade that he took over there off that New York VWAP, exactly what I was explaining, right? We can bring it up again. Very, very good trading here by JR. And this is just from watching us and coaching him through the processes. Okay, so very, very neat. Again, with the edge for reports, let's just go over that like this. With the edge for reports yesterday, again, let's just go over ES. He was trading ES. Okay, with that opening candle continuation report, let's go over it again. The opening candle continuation, first hour was bearish. Look for shorts for the rest of the day. By weekday, you can see on a Tuesday, okay, 68% of the time, we're going to end up closing red. Actually, on a Tuesday, 100% for bullish first hour. So very, very interesting. Okay. Yeah, trading below VWAP plus using the opening candle continuation report is, very about timing. Perfect, Crocs. I hope that makes sense for what you're asking about the VWAP plays. Could you guys in the Discord that are watching on Discord, could you guys let me know if you can see the announcement section? We kind of got a new Discord kind of flow going here. Everything is done in the main general chat, but we've got a few how to use edgeful, everything like that. Can you just confirm that you can see these messages that are coming up in the announcement section in the Discord? Please put a thumbs up in the chat if you can see this announcement section over here, right? Over here. Mateo, can you see this announcement section over here? You can see all that and all the new sections as well underneath the education and everything like that. Okay, perfect. Brilliant. I appreciate it. Just wanted to confirm. And you can see all the new sections as well, like the how to use edgefill. There's the guides, everything how to use edgefill in the Discord. You guys can see this too, right? Okay, brilliant. So we got another question here. So opening candle gives you buyers VWAP a good level to enter. How would you use the RB breakdown stat yesterday? Perfect. Okay, good question. So that initial balance, let's go to ES again, because that's what we're mostly trading on our live streams. We do trade a little bit of NQ as well. You guys know that I love trading the DAX too. So let's go to this initial balance breakout. Basically, just using the initial balance for a guide for bias as well. What they are asking in the Discord, with this initial balance breakout is basically we very rarely get double breaks of that initial balance. Right. What is the initial balance? The initial balance is the first hours of trading's highs and lows. So after the first hour gets set, we set a high and low. And as you can see, let's go to ES from yesterday. Right. Let's go to ES from yesterday and let's put in this initial balance. By the way, you can get all the indicators with your edgeful subscription on the right hand side. They've also got the Ninja Trader indicators as well. You just come over here and you put your Trading View indicator access there. I use Trading View for my charting. So let's go to this initial balance. Okay. Like that. As you can see, I don't think that once the initial balance, so what we are saying is we set a high and a low after the first hour of trading. You with me, Crocs? Basically, I don't think you should just be shorting on an initial balance break. No, you should be using that initial balance along with the opening candle continuation as a bias. Okay, we break the low side. We want to be looking for shorts. Now we've got double continuation. We've got a first hour that's bearish, and we have initial balance break out to the downside. Then we look for pullbacks into that New York VWAP and look for shorts, right? That's how I use this in my own trading and how I would do it if I was you. It's what I use, what I love to use. That's what I do. It works for me. That's what I would say. I don't just say short on initial balance breaks. Confirm it as a bias and then look for pullbacks into that New York VWAP to look for extensions to the downside. Of course, if you're trading long or to the high side, right? Yep, that did saw it formed the high first, so expected breakdown. Yeah, and obviously you just got to look this look at this objectively as well. We have a massive flush down on the open. Okay, so literally we are down where you shorted it at that initial balance, 41 points. This thing's not just going to always run away, especially with FOMC the following day, everything like that. So I would just say that you need to look at it and say, okay, maybe this is not a ideal place to enter. Let me rather wait for that pullback to that New York VWAP. As I said, take the anchored VWAP, put it from the 9:30 a.m. open. It would be 3:30 for me, South African time. And then you want to look for shorts. If you're looking for shorts, ideally at or close to that New York VWAP as possible. Okay. Came down to having bad entries and being too aggressive. Yeah. And also with FOMC, right? I don't think you should be being aggressive. Maybe trade a challenge account, not any live capital or a funded account if you're trading with these prop firms. Prop firms are a great way, but you also want to protect the funded accounts too. Don't just, trade them separately. Trade the challenges separately to your funded accounts. Protect those funded accounts, okay? Sure. So that is a great way to use initial balance and opening candle continuation along with VWAP with edgeful to make money. Okay, so let's see. We did have some flash downs here on the yen quote pairs this morning. I did actually manage to catch a little piece of this short over here just pre-London Open, which was obviously very, very neat. We got Ak on my YouTube channel saying, what's up? What's up, Ak? Good to have you on. How's your trading been, Ak? How's the first Q1 been for you? End of this month, we will have finished Q1 and moving on to Q2. Yeah, 100%, Crocs, 100%. I appreciate you being on so far this morning. As I said, just having a look at my TradeZilla. I did take those GJ shorts. We'll see what happens the rest of the day. And let's go over some DAX for Mateo. Looks like we are trading at the weekly VWAP. Again, DAX is not looking too particularly bullish right now. We're trading underneath the daily VWAP, which is this black VWAP on the top screen over here. We are trading underneath that 5-minute 200 EMA. I love using the 5-minute time frame for my entries and 15, along with giving context of like the daily, the hourly as well. But we're not looking super bullish today. We are sitting at all highs where we actually did have quite a big pull down day. We are sitting at this all-time high. It's pretty crazy run that we have had on the DAX since the start of the year. We actually are sitting up almost 16%. But we're not looking bullish at the current point in time. As I said, US markets, NASDAQ, we are currently trading underneath this weekly VWAP, which is the start of week extended market hours VWAP as well. So I like using extended market hours VWAP and as well as that New York market hours VWAP as well. Weekly VWAP is from the start of the week, extended market hours. Any questions, anything that you guys would like me to cover? The big thing right today is FOMC, of course. That is going to be the big topic of discussion. What are we going to get? What is going to happen? Are we going to rally from here? What are we going to do? If we just look at the NASDAQ on the daily time frame, we are sitting underneath this daily 200 EMA. We could have formed the base here and then maybe look to move up. But what are we going to do? This is going to be interesting. We are currently trading on on some of the Mag 7 stocks. Tesla, we're currently up 3% pre-market, and Nvidia and extended market hours trading, we are up 1.18% at the moment. So stocks a little bit bullish on that side. Let's just have a look at stocks across the broader aspect as well. So Mag 7 stocks, all green actually pre-market as well. We got a few, stocks across the board. Yeah, American stocks green as well there too. So let's just have a look at Bitcoin up above 83K, gold trading high above 3K, oil up as well. The Nikkei sitting flat. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what we do get. This is kind of my watch list at the moment, is just the DAX, the American markets, and then one or two currency pairs, my yen quotes with the Tesla and Nvidia. But mostly I've been trading actually DAX and the S&P 500 more recently. I will throw in some yen cross pairs when I do get a chance. Just what's been working for me, DAX and S&P more recently. More locked in, right? Okay, so as I said, I think the big thing right now is just going to see what we do get with this FOMC later on today. Okay, let's just make sure we just put that on mute there in the Discord. But yeah, as I said, using that opening candle continuation for a bias and then looking to short or long, obviously depending on the bias, Crocs, as close to that New York VWAP as possible. Using the RB, I wouldn't use it as an entry gauge. I would more use that initial balance breakout as mentioned as a bias dictator, and then looking to short pullbacks if short, or looking to buy pullbacks if long, of course. Does that make sense for you guys in the chat? Hoa, anything that you are watching this morning? But yeah, I mean, stocks are green across the board on the Mag 7. So we're going to see what we do get into open. If we do get anything that's clean, maybe we want to rally on open before FOMC. But I think main part today is just keeping a light and tight before FOMC print comes on later today. That is probably going to be the focus for me personally. I'm not going to look to attack heading into FOMC. Probably not the best thing to do. Ak wants me to go over GBP CAD. Let's do that. Let's go over GBP CAD. Sure. Let's go over here. Got so many different watch lists here. My simple watch list is the best because that's what I focus on. But we definitely got some other watch lists too. We can see the rand, the good old South African rand, trading at 18.12 to the dollar. Let's go like this. Let's go like that. Okay, GCAD. Yeah, GCAD's an interesting one. GCAD is definitely an interesting one. We are trading below this 5-day SMA, which you guys know Brian Shannon, the godfather of VWAP, loves to use. So we are trading below that. We're kind of super choppy as well, right? But we have been on this kind of like a little bit of a big rise here in the last couple of days due to the tariffs. So very, very. I mean, we're up almost like 600 pips. Bullish long term. I think just right now we're kind of in a chop phase. I would maybe be inclined to lean long biased. Maybe we are sitting at this weekly VWAP using as support. Weekly VWAP being from the start of week, right? And we did respect previous week's lows over here. Again, you can get this indicator. You can see it's got the red line over here. That is previous week's lows with edgeful. So I would be inclined to lean long bias, maybe with a stop at this previous week's lows as a long-term, swing trade. Just joined. Have you looked at NQ yet? We can definitely look at NQ. So let's go over that. Let's go over NQ. US 100, same thing. I'm just looking at the cash price, right? The cash price. So let's have a look at this from an objective point of view. Right now, we're trading underneath the weekly VWAP, right? We are trading at this 500, 200 EMA, but above the daily VWAP. So a little bit consolidating right now. I'm just going to have to see what we do get heading into the first hour. Again, something that when we are a bit indecisive like this would be to come to edgeful's reports, come to this previous, either the previous day's range report, but right now haven't taken it out. So come to this opening candle continuation report and wait for this first hour to print. Let's go to NQ. Okay, let's wait for this first hour to print. And this could give us a great gauge to see what we could be looking for the rest of the day. Obviously, we have FOMC later on. That's as mentioned. I mean, that's a hot topic. But if you're looking to take trades before then, let's see what the first 30 minutes give. Let's see what the first hour give. You can also change this. Okay, let's go by sub report. Let's go like this. Let's go 30 minutes, right? So 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes. So this would be from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Could still give a great gauge to see, right? Where are we going to move, right? After the first 30 minutes, is it going to be higher or lower? Let's see what the first 30 minutes do. We'd use the previous week's range report. So a report that I like to use besides the previous week's range report over it would be this opening week opening week range report. Okay, so it's very similar to the initial balance, Crocs. Essentially, after Monday and Tuesday play out. Okay, let's just go like this. Let's go to daily. Okay, and let's go to NQ. Okay, so as you can see, bro, it basically after Monday and Tuesday plays out, and obviously we're sitting on Wednesday right now. Once the highs and the lows have set in after Monday and Tuesday, very rarely do we break both sides. I mean, only 7.69% of the time. So in saying that, here's the highs from Monday and Tuesday. We can actually bold the box. I think they are getting an indicator for me, but here's the highs and here's the lows from Monday and Tuesday. Okay, and we can build that in like that. So in saying that, if we break one side, very rarely do we come back and break the opposite side. So it's very similar to that initial balance report. Right now, we're still trading within the highs and lows from Monday and Tuesday. So waiting for a break of that could incline to see what we could see the rest of the week. But from an intraday perspective on NQ, I might wait for the first 30 minutes of the open to see what we are going to get. Got my good friend Julio in here. Good to have you on, brother. So as I said, right now, we are sitting pretty choppy intraday on NQ. FOMC coming later on. Let's see what the first 30 minutes to hour brings of the open, and then we can use that opening candle continuation report with edgeful to see what are we actually going to get for the rest of the day. So that's going to be my plan. Wait for the first 30 minutes, use this opening candle continuation to gauge what we're going to see for the rest of the day, along with view app and price action. I've broken down some nice trades that the guys took in our live trading room yesterday. So yeah, I appreciate you guys being on. We'll leave it at there. I will be in the Discord for the rest of the day. For those that are watching on stream, come join the edgeful's Discord over here. It's free. And then obviously come join our ASFX TV live streaming as well, where I will be live on the open now with the guys over there. You can use the code James for 50% off our live streaming services. So we'll leave it, guys, there. Appreciate you being on. And make sure to use that opening candle continuation report for a gauge today. It's going to be very, very neat to see what we do get before FOMC. Keep it light, keep it tight, and we'll see you guys there.